Welcome back everybody to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys.
On Apple, stock is down 2.72%, a massive dump off, and you can see this entire range that we actually got built up here on Apple stock for past 2 weeks wiped off entire this range that we got here on Apple, and now we got this big bearish engulfing candle and pretty much closing right on top of this 50-day and 20-day moving average. Now, Apple was a fantastic short. I did mention that before in my video. That is a swing trade that I actually got in here at 232, and these puts that are 230 going through the roof. This is massive right here. Still holding a lot of puts right here on Apple, and the stop loss is nowhere near now. If this thing wants to go up, I mean, we got to go through 230. I can easily get out, locked in some profit today, and living more than almost 50% of my position running right now on Apple. And I think, this month that is coming, October, and even this month, and we have a lot of data this week, guys. If this thing cracks under 220, we saw that quick dump right here. It can easily come down to 209.66, down to lower Bollinger Band, and possibly down to even 207. And underneath that, we might see a dump off down to 198 to 200, and then even 190. So Apple, I mean, it's not like a massive confirmation, but if we short it here, now your stop loss is too far for this thing to move back up and hit that, right? So that is a fantastic opportunity. Now, the question here on Apple stock, if Apple is going to hold this support, anything above 220, I would say needs to hold. Under 222 to 220, these moving averages and this critical support, you will see a dump off down to lower Bollinger Band 209.66, 207, and then 198 to the upside. As long as this support can hold, we might see a relief bounce back up to 226.48, and over that, this thing can move back up to 230. Until then, remain bearish on Apple stock if this thing breaks under 220. On Microsoft, is down 1.85%, so massive dump off here on Microsoft, and you can see big bearish engulfing candle, and we definitely cracked under the support, critical support for 13, and now it's heading down to possibly 400. The longer time we spend under 413, there is a huge possibility this thing can come down to 400 and possibly will retest this low down here, which is at 385. Now, to the upside, Microsoft now needs to break 413, and over that you will see a move up to the next resistance right here, 417, and I'm just rounding things up, it's 416.92. So 417 over that, then watch out for a move up to 420. And I even called this out last week that if this thing cannot hold 420, then we're not going back up. And you can see, I mean, this was a tiny bit of a fake breakout here to the upside, and immediately we dumped right after that holiday, and now we can continue to see Microsoft going down even more, but we need more confirmation. Again, going into tomorrow's session, it needs to stay under 413, and for that, bears, they have a lot of work on their hand to drive the price down all the way down to 400. On Tesla stock is down 1.64%, so this is how market will react. And whenever market is reacting to some other news or market wants to sell off, it does not matter. We have a bull flag or whatever flag that is, whatever bull pattern that is, it's not going to play. So you guys saw that Tesla explosion. We talked about it in my video, and still holding, you can see right here, but not holding anymore, 212. We definitely rallied this morning. Everything else was going down, including big name like Nvidia, but Tesla rallied this morning. But because how the market was selling off, well, this thing could not hold, and there was a lot of pressure here on Tesla, so this thing sold off as well, and also took out in that process critical support 212, and now trading just over 208.5 to 20-day moving average and top of this bull flag. Now, if that gives up, you're going to see immediate drop down to 200, 191, and then 183. Tesla can get over 212, then watch out for a move back up to 221, 227, and then 240 up to this gap, 245.63. On AMD, it's down 7.82%. So a lot of people actually got caught off guard today because nobody was expecting this sell-off. How we closed on Friday, a bullish close on Friday. Everyone was talking about blue sky. And what happened? We just fell off the sky. And this is how the market actually works. When a lot of people are turning bullish and expecting all-time highs, and especially someone who makes videos on YouTube that, we all know he was saying that all-time highs are coming and then followed by a pullback. Well, we definitely went the opposite route because all-time highs never came today, and we got a pullback, and definitely we did fill some of those gaps to the downside, including big names like Nvidia going down in a big way today, taking down the entire market and Nasdaq 100. Now, in my last video, I said 148 is the line in the sand here for this thing to push even higher. And you can see clearly we actually opened at 146. So immediately support was gone. And then the rest was history all day selling off down to not even holding 138 and now trading at 136. The next stop here on AMD down here 127, 125, 122. If we get some sort of a relief rally back up to 20-day moving average right here, then watch out for the resistance at 138, and over that you'll see a move up to 145. And until we clear, I would say 148, I'm not going to say AMD going back up to 164 or even higher, because the trend is down even on this bull flag pattern, and definitely at the end of this bull flag pattern we have a massive bearish engulfing candle, and that is never a bullish thing on any stock. On Amazon, stock is down 1.26%. So Amazon actually did well today, even though it was down on the day. And you can see Amazon not even under 20-day moving average. We did not actually get down to 5-day or even this 173 critical support, and trading pretty much at 13-day moving average and holding 176. So you line the sand 176, 173 for Amazon for tomorrow. Underneath 173, you will see a flush down to 167, and from there much lower down to even 160. Amazon can actually bounce from 176, then watch out for a move up to 180, and over that up to this red line 50-day moving average right here, which is sitting near actually 182. And once we get over this 50-day, it will look a lot more bullish, and Amazon can continue this move even higher. But watch carefully this support on a pullback 173 on Amazon, and this is definitely not a big opportunity on Amazon stock. So if you're not in from this sell-off down here, I would not be chasing Amazon at this level, because these Bollinger Bands are squeezing and nobody knows what's coming. And especially, guys, a lot of people just think that rate cuts are here, and market rallied last week and even before, how we got this massive pump. Everything is just extremely bullish. You have to understand what actually happens when they're cutting rates, and it's coming this month. Not sure exactly how much. I mean, we know kind of how much, but until J. Powell comes out and does the thing, we don't know how much he's going to cut and what is the reason behind it. Because time has come, and time has come for what? A big dump off because of rate cut and all that. Maybe a recession in play. We don't know nothing. But these people, J. Powell, the government, they know everything. What's broken inside? If they have broken something inside, we can't just see that right away. And a lot of people, like, they're not actually agreeing with this reality. Like, they think oh, market just seems like fine. Trust me, it can go down in a quick time. But I'm not saying the crash is here. We'll see that if that happens. But it's something that you should know. When rate cuts are happening, that's not too good for the market, guys. On Google, stock is down almost 4%. So Google, I actually got in here under 162 today. This thing jumped up to 163 plus, put a stop at break even, and guess what? Well, came back, got stopped out at break even, and now big bearish engulfing candle. We did not even fill this gap today at 163.41, and now I mean, Google is a big name. And also, I talked about it before how this could be a nice bear flag setup, and looks like we're breaking down from this bear flag. In the next stop, I mean, it's holding by this lower Bollinger Band right here at 158. And below that, we have support down here at 155 and then 148. We get some sort of a bounce here on Google tomorrow or the next day. Watch out for the resistance at 162, and over that, we might be going up to fill this gap just under 165 right here. And that's going to be a big resistance to watch on Google as well if we can make it up there at 163.41. On Meta, it's down 1.83%. So Meta, I did play this and sold early because it was a weekly expiration. I got in at 523, 500 puts, and this one definitely paid, almost going near the money, guys, 508. But sold a little bit early because I also have a longer term, swing on Meta, which is puts, and that actually I got in at 539, I think, right here. Not here, before, right here. And then this thing went back up, hitting a new all-time high. I kept my position, and now that is also green. I mean, you can see this thing is near 500 almost. So I got in at 539 and now trading at 510, 509. So Meta here also breaking down. You can see this is a mini bear flag pattern right here, and this one also breaking down. And now the next stop, if you look at my screen, under 520, 504.88, and then 500 down to 495, lower Bollinger Band, and then even 490. And I think at some point, guys, we will see Meta coming down and closing this massive gap from earnings at 400. So that is why I'm holding those long-term puts on Meta, and I think they can go up, possibly 200% if that happens. Maybe even, who knows, at 400 going in the money, maybe even 500% that is possible. And it happened before, so why not? So Meta here, now if this thing is actually moving up, watch for the resistance at 520, and over that right here at 524. This is where I actually got in today when I saw Meta hitting this 13-day moving average, and I got in with puts, and this one definitely paid today. Wish I was holding a bit longer. It was more than 100%. Now 524 or 525, I would say here, 13-day moving average over 520 breaks, then we can talk about 531. Until then, watch the resistance at 520 and the support at 504.88, 500, 495, and then 490. So Netflix going down 3.71%, and look at this massive bearish engulfing candle covering this entire consolidation, this box right here, bull flag pattern. And now you can see we definitely did break down to the downside here on Netflix, and now critical support sitting at 668 and then 664, 659, 50-day moving average. And soon as that gives up, you will see a dump off down to 630. Now we tried many times. Right here you can see even last week closing over 700 was giving hope for the bulls, maybe all-time highs. And even in my video I talked about it, but you can see clearly, I mean, with this candle, it's definitely not happening at this moment. Until we clear 700, it's not going back up. And I think in near short term, if this thing actually breaks under these moving averages right here, 20-day and 50-day, red line and white line, 659, you will see more dump off on Netflix. So I mean, this thing actually costs a lot of money to trade, even on like weekly calls or puts. And that is why, if I'm not sure, I don't really touch this stock, because unless it's Friday, then it's cheap. Otherwise, they want arm and a leg for each contracts on Netflix, and it's just not worth it, because yeah, this thing could be a big mover, but you need to risk less money to make more money, not risk a lot of money to make peanuts here on Netflix. On Nvidia, stock is down almost 10%, and Nvidia, we actually played a small position today, and I'm still holding some Nvidia shares in a small position on calls, but it's underwater, especially the calls, because Nvidia actually never got a bounce today. This thing pretty much closing at the support right here, 107, and we all know that this 107 gives up, what's going to happen? Massive dump off. Now I did buy some shares at 107. That is just a starting position on Nvidia, and I'm willing to add a lot more, and I mean a lot more, during this 2 months, this month, and especially if the sell-off continues next month until end of the month for that big rally which may take place later on. So these are shares I'm not really, sweating on these, and I just got a starter position today after selling my entire position before earnings, and now I'm slowly entering Nvidia shares, and I think it'll be fantastic if this thing actually takes out this low down here. Definitely, I'll be buying even more shares. So this is just a small starter position to see what the stock does and the market itself, what the market is doing with the rate cuts. I don't want to go and buy 500 shares, 1,000 shares, and the next thing I know, Nvidia down to like $80. So slowly 50, 60, depending on how much money you have and how much you can buy on a stock like Nvidia. I would not recommend going big or anything on Nvidia. If you want to buy, it depends on how much money you have and how much you want to spend. I would say go really slow on this because there is no other catalyst coming, nothing except that buyback, right? So we got nothing behind right now. If you're buying, you got to give time. Don't buy today and the next morning, every 5 minutes, looking at your account like, oh, why it's not going up? That is not why I'm buying. I can hold my shares. Big names like Nvidia always can hold. So if you're somebody who likes to hold a bit longer, think outside the box. Just not next day, oh, it's up $5, I'm gonna get out, because this was a fantastic move. I made a lot of money on puts and even playing shares to the upside and selling out before earnings. So now another opportunity, and this could be a bigger opportunity in next few days to next month, because if this sell-off continues, we go down even more after rate cuts, then that's going to be fantastic. But you don't want to go, some people like to go all in and buy everything right now. You want to wait, buy slowly, really slowly, especially on Nvidia. And if this thing bounces back up, it's okay. I mean, you don't have to chase. And this is not where, I would like to buy a lot of shares. Definitely not here. I would like to see more dump off, maybe take out this low down here to go, and buy even more, maybe down to this gap right here. That would be fantastic right here at around, what is it, 68, $69. So that is my target to the downside if the sell-off continues. Don't just think that it's going to go there. We definitely have to break under 107 and then definitely have to break under these levels right here. So now you're line the sand 107 and then $98, and then right here around 95. Under that, we might see more flush on Nvidia stock to the upside, and the only way up, hold 107, get over 113, and then we might see a move back up to 117.85 on Nvidia. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated tomorrow.